Hello, hello to all of my loved ones. How are you doing? This is Love Mark 411, and welcome to today's topic and discussion. We're going to be talking about a very good topic today. And if you're new here to Love Marlene 411, on this channel, I put a focus on the love you have for yourself because if you work on that relationship, you heal some of those inner child issues, some of those traumas, past relationships, and learn how to communicate better. You're going to learn to show up in a healthy and more positive way. So, thank you all so much for your time and for being here. I really and truly appreciate you. Today, we're going to be talking about choosing me, learning to choose yourself, and for us to understand that when we choose ourselves, it's not a selfish tactic. And we're going to get into that and we're going to talk about a whole bunch of other things. But I first off wanted to start off by reassuring all of my loved ones and for you to understand that when you make a choice to choose yourself, you're not being selfish. Actually, it means that you love yourself. Many of you have been raised, probably like myself, to always feel that you should give all of you to others. You should be in servitude, which I agree to a degree. To a degree, yes, you should be helping, serving others, giving back. I do believe that. But when it comes to completely emptying yourself and giving all of you to everyone and not saving the best parts of you for yourself, that part I don't agree with. And today's topic and discussion is really to focus on going back to when you learned certain things about yourself. Maybe you were learning from your childhood that you were supposed to give everything to your siblings, your parents, your kids, your spouse, right? And when you grow up with that knowledge, thinking you are supposed to give every single thing that you have to your children, to your siblings, to your relatives, to everybody, what that does is that gives you a guilt complex. And that's not something that is very easy to unlearn. It's not easy to learn how to treat yourself if for so many years you have not been treating yourself the right way. You know, and it's something that each and every one of us has to learn how to respect ourselves. Hi, bro. How are you doing? How's everybody doing? Welcome in, everybody. Make sure you hit the like. Really appreciate you guys being here. Happy Thursday to everybody. This topic is really near and dear to my heart in talking about choosing myself. Long journey. It's been a long road for me, the space in life where I feel like it's okay for me to choose me. And it was with a lot of going forth and feeling that I was a terrible person because that is the thing that a lot of people do. It's the thing that relatives do. It's something wrong with us because we're making a choice to be healthy. We're making a choice to honestly um, do and be our best for us. And I wanted to say that to everybody. If you are making a choice to choose yourself, it doesn't mean that you're a bad person. It means that you're a good person, that is finally getting healthy, because a lot of things that happen in this world, a lot of things that happen to us, is not a good thing. You know, it's not good for us to treat ourselves in a toxic manner. We really have to learn how to treat ourselves. We have to learn how to mature and to grow. We have to learn how to grow into ourselves. And we have to learn how to be our best self and to be at peace and to be happy. And that just doesn't happen overnight. It takes years sometimes, many, many years for us to get to a space to where we can actually feel like, you know what? I need to be thinking about myself. I need to be thinking about what I need, what makes me happy, how I can take care of myself in a better way. Because always choosing everybody before you, it's not good for you. So when we start to choose ourselves, it's a learning process. It's a whole journey in this life to learn that you should choose yourself. And why it's important is because when you learn to choose yourself, we have better mental health. Your mental health is going to improve when you choose yourself first, because you know the things that, when it's time for you to pause and take care of yourself and relax. And it also helps you to put things in certain categories like, okay, that's not my problem. That's a projection. That's a person putting things on me, because people will make you feel guilty because they can't control you, or because they can't know your business. And it's a really thing that has to do with personal growth and development, for us to learn that we have to speak up for ourselves. We have to advocate for ourselves. And yes, choose yourself. And I want to say that to all the ladies, to all the gentlemen: learn to choose yourself. Learn that you're important. And this honestly is a message that so many women and so many men need to learn, that for the majority of the population, I will say, will choose their their boyfriend or girlfriend, husband or wife, their siblings, their relatives, right? They'll choose everybody. Everybody goes in a space before them. They feel like, oh, I have to take care of them. I have to support them. But when are you going to take care of and support yourself? It's a journey to come to that space to say, I deserve to spend time on me. I deserve to show up for me, and I deserve to set boundaries. And that is something that I most definitely didn't understand. And I know many people don't understand that part either. It's a learning process, it's a growing thing. Is you have to learn how to grow into your own and advocate for yourself. I had to definitely learn how to advocate for myself and really ask myself, what do I want? And not to think about anybody. What do I want? What do I need? Because there is a thing as putting on your own oxygen mask and taking care of yourself. And if you don't take care of yourself, there's nobody who's going to say you should take a rest, you should take a break, or you need to do this or that for yourself. You got to think about yourself. And that does not make you a selfish person. It means that you care about yourself and you're not letting manipulative people, jealous people, controlling people come before you. See, the people who choose to say things like that, you're selfish, is because they only care about themselves. So it's a projection. They're speaking about their own self. And really, when I learned that the majority of people that we have in our lives really don't care about us. They only care when they can use you, when they can know your business, when they can control you, when they can say whatever it is that they want to say to you and feel like you always have to do whatever they say. You have to be their puppet. You have to agree with everything you say. And that's not healthy. That's a very toxic relationship to be in. And you shouldn't constantly allow people to treat you like you're the last option when you're not the last option. You're the first option. And we have to learn that it's okay to choose ourselves. It's okay to put yourself first, not last. And we have to stop being the last option. Stop being the last option. Stop letting people treat you like you're garbage. Because honestly, people treat us the way that we allow. And until you set those standards, until you learn how to have a relationship with yourself, you're going to keep being treated in a very disrespectful manner. See, we get out of this life what we are. And if you feel like you don't deserve respect, you're not going to get respect. If you don't know how to love yourself, you're not going to be loved in the way that you need to be loved. Notice I said the way you need to be loved, not the way other people want to love you. And when I got to that space in my life, it was when I really found peace, joy, strength. It's learning how to navigate life and knowing when it's time for you to go and when it's and to do so unapologetically. And that is the exact thing that we each need to do is to do so unapologetically, like to not be afraid to be yourself, to not be afraid to set those boundaries, to just because somebody asks you your business, not feeling that it's necessary for you to answer that. You don't have to answer that. You don't have to respond to it. You can keep whatever you want to yourself. See, that's what I'm talking about is learning how to set those boundaries and to enforce them. Okay? Learning to enforce them and not letting anybody treat you in an inferior way. Don't let people treat you like you're the last option. You're not the last option. But you most definitely have to learn that. You have to learn that part and not letting people disrespect you. And you can't get respect in this life until you find it within yourself. You honestly have to learn how to respect yourself before other people can respect you. You have to know who you are and not wait for other people to tell you who you are. Now that's a really deep thing. That's very deep waters because most people feel that they are nothing if they don't have the support of relatives. Notice I said relatives and not family because family chooses you back. People who love you will want you to be your healthiest, your happiest, and most at peace. And if you are not getting peace from people who allegedly, supposedly say they care about you and love you, then that's toxicity. And those are the individuals that you have no recourse but to step back from those people. You must step back from toxic people, or they're going to make you get so stressed out, be so angry, become separated from your money, and the list goes on and on. So let's talk about this. Choosing yourself is not selfish. Rather, it means that you're taking care of you. You're thinking about yourself. And how many of us have ever, like, really paused and thought about, who am I? What do I want to do with my life? What makes me happy? What am I good at? See, that's taking care of you. Is developing a relationship with yourself. And many people never get to that space in their life because they allow distractions, negativity, trauma, past hurt, all of it, the full gamut, to get inside of our head and distract us. Don't let other people distract you from being you. And it took so many years. It was way past even me being an adult, quote unquote. It was way past 18, way past 21 before I came to the space of realizing that I don't even know who I am, what I want, because I was so busy being focused on being what other people wanted me to be, what other people said I should be like, act like, talk like, and learning to embrace myself fully and to be completely unapologetic about it, not letting other people control my mind, but letting me be my happiest, letting me say when I'm tired, letting me say if I like something or not, and not letting society, not letting TV, the entertainment world, not letting your relatives, not letting anybody tell you who you are, but you being that representative by your values and how you treat yourself and the relationships that fill you up. And I can say, as a mature woman, not just as a grown woman, but as a mature woman, I had to learn me. I had to learn, what is it that I wanted? What is it that I was interested in? Hmm. Because that's a whole thing that a lot of times we don't really even think about what we individually want in this life. We're so focused on what other people want from us. And we have to get out of our own way. And we have to stop letting other people get to us and letting other people's opinions or thoughts on how we look, how we talk, what we are doing, or what we want to do. One of the best things that I ever did in learning to choose myself is staying silent long enough to allow myself to say, what do I personally want? Not because of feeling bad or what would other people think, and will they like it and will they accept it? No. What do I want from my life? What will bring me peace? What is my life's work? See, learning to choose yourself, that's not a selfish thing. It's a healthy thing. And if more people would learn to choose themselves, think about what they personally want, what they're good at, and not what the TV or the entertainers or social media or your bank account or what your relatives may say, or the amount of money that you have or your education. No, but who you are as an individual, learning to embrace yourself and really looking at yourself and saying, what am I good at? learning how to be your own best friend. And for myself, I know that I could not develop a relationship with myself until I learned to separate myself from toxicity. See, toxicity is one of the worst things in this life. And I think just about everybody has toxic relationships, toxic people around them until they learn to identify them and cut them off. Once I learned who these toxic people were and had enough courage, yes, notice I said courage, because it takes courage to cut off people that you may care about, but when you realize they don't care back about me, they don't care about my feelings. Those are the individuals that talk to you any type of way, disrespect you, never say thank you, are always complaining. They're not respectful. They don't understand boundaries. They don't pay attention to how they make you feel. They do whatever they want and they're very unapologetic. But when you make a decision to choose yourself, now everybody is saying you're mean, you're selfish, you're all of these things, which you're not. Hold on a second, everybody. See, but we're the ones that have to learn how to choose ourselves. You have to learn how to select yourself. And it's really a big process. It took me so many years past being a quote unquote adult. It was way past 18, 21. And I think that every woman and every man should go about separating themselves from the people that they care about for a while and go on a journey of self discovery and, journal about their life and am I happy? Am I at peace? And if the answer is no, really being honest with yourself and saying, why am I not happy? Is it I'm unhappy because of me, or am I unhappy because of the people that are around me? And if you really look at it, the majority of the times when we're unhappy in our lives, it's not because of us, but because we have not set boundaries, we're distracted, and we've allowed other people in our lives to distract us and to affect us by their toxicity. Because the toxicity will trickle down and get you distracted, affect your mental, emotional, physical, financial health. It will affect your peace. It does so many things to us. And until you learn to finally choose yourself, you're never going to be happy. Hey, Sirius, how are you doing? Welcome. Shout out to the mods. Mod on deck. How are you doing today, Sirius? So if you don't learn how to choose yourself, you're going to be miserable for the rest of your life. So, the next point in learning how to choose yourself, you really have to learn how to boost your own self esteem. And when I went on that journey of my self discovery, it's really when I was asking myself the questions: is my self esteem defined by money or things or my looks, or is it outside of me or is it inside of me? And a lot of people don't understand that concept, that your self-esteem is based on who you are, not what other people think about you. And that's a personal thing. You have to esteem yourself. That's why it's called self-esteem. You have to spend time with yourself and learn to love yourself for who you are. For me, my self esteem is wrapped in the things that I have overcome, the things that I have learned, the courage that I have found. That makes my self esteem through the roof because it takes courage every single day to allow yourself to love yourself and to respect yourself and to do all the things that you need to do because you care about yourself and you are going to do the things that you need to do so that you can be okay. Yes, I'm doing awesome, Sirius. Thank you so much. Yes, Sirius. Sirius says, as you enter the chat, double tap the screen to thumbs up. Thanks. Appreciate that, Sirius. One of the things about choosing yourself is you have to get out of the mode of trying to make everybody happy. I know when I got myself out of that mindset, it really was about shifting my mindset into not making everybody happy, but changing my mindset into what fulfills me and what fills up my cup. Not in things, not in people that's around me, but me. It's based on who I am and learning to love myself for who I am. See that self esteem? It's our responsibility, ladies and gentlemen. It's your responsibility to love yourself. And when I started to think about those things, that it's my responsibility to love myself, that's not anybody else's job. It's my job to love myself. But it's very difficult to raise your self esteem when maybe the majority of your life people have put your self esteem in the toilet. But it really has been because you have had your self esteem wrapped up in other people or situations or what other people thought about you. But when you start to redirect that and pull from inside of yourself, say, this is my relationship, this is my friendship with me, and it's up to me to love myself. It's up to me. It's not up to anybody who's around you. That's why it's called self-esteem. Do you esteem yourself? And when I asked myself that question so many years ago, my answer was definitely no. I felt like I can, but I'd rather support me. I'd rather other people pour into me and make me feel good about myself. And that's somebody else's job to make you be at peace. That's a personal. So learning to choose yourself, that's it's a long road. And for the rest of your life, learning how to respect yourself. So you have to boost your own self-esteem. It's in things. If you know that a situation is going to be very job to love ourselves. It's our job to show up for ourselves. Nobody else's. nobody else's job to love us. It's our job to love ourselves. It's your job to love yourself and nobody else's. Oh, I disappeared? Do you see me now, Sirius? What in the world? I hope you guys can see me. I hope it's back. I am hopeful that it's back. I don't know what's going on. It's about to storm here in Florida, but I hope it's back. Hopefully, it is back. So I don't know what's going on, but I'm going to continue the topic. Oh, Sirius says it's back. Thank you so much. You say you see me now. Thank you. So I'm bring the last few things that I want to talk about, and then we're going to get out of here. Okay. So I want to encourage every single one of you to be the version of yourself, to empower yourself, and to not be who you used to be. Be who you are today, strong, determined. And it means that you don't ignore yourself. I think it's very important. Learning to choose yourself means don't ignore yourself, don't ignore your needs above others. It means that you got to acknowledge yourself and what you have going on, knowing how important you are. And that takes work. It takes work to know what you need at that moment. Sometimes you may need to walk away. Sometimes you may need to scream at the top of your lungs. Sometimes it may be shedding some tears. But you've got to acknowledge yourself and learn to choose you because you're valuable and important. And it's so important to know that about yourself, knowing that you are worth it. Acknowledge yourself and learning to prioritize your needs. What do you need in this life? What makes you happy? What fills up your cup? James, how are you doing? Welcome. Appreciate you being here. Happy Thursday. What makes you happy? And that's important. A lot of people, they don't think about themselves and what they need. You got to prioritize yourself and take care of you. Every single one of you are important. You got to learn to love yourself, develop your own relationship with yourself because you matter. Okay? You got to make your own relationship with yourself. And it's not based on who you're in a relationship with, who your friends are, the amount of money you have, the way you look. It's your own personal relationship with you and learning you and what you need at that moment. Giving yourself the permission to heal, giving yourself the permission to be happy, and setting boundaries, not for people, for you. Yes, Sirius. This is a very important point that I want to highlight. You don't have to chase after anyone's approval to know that you matter. Man, that is gold. That is so important for you to understand that self-validation. You don't have to chase a relationship, and you can't make everybody happy. But when I learned that, man, that was one of the best things that I ever learned, is that stop trying to find validation inside of a relationship or money. What the most important validation is, self-validation. You got to validate yourself. And regardless of who you're around, you're going to have to be with yourself for the rest of your life. You got to find a way for peace and to heal that inner child and the things that people said, so that you can be confident, so that you can respect yourself, and you can do all the things that you need to do for you, right? That's so important. You don't have to chase after anyone's approval. We don't have to seek everybody's approval. The approval that matters is yours, and whatever it is that you believe in spiritually. Those are the most important validation that you need in this life. Everything that is outside of that is an addition. It's nice if you can get outside validation, but the validation that is important is the one that you should be seeking with yourself. So many women and men are seeking a love in all the wrong places, because they're trying to find a relationship that's going to fill those empty holes inside of themselves. They're looking for a man or a woman. They're looking for a friendship or money or things to fill in spaces where they feel empty. They're looking for somebody or something to fill a void or a space, when the only person that can fill that space on the inside, you got to work on that. That's an inner thing. Hey, Real Odds, how are you doing? Welcome. Happy Thursday. I'm telling you, when I learned that part right there about learning to validate myself, learning to love myself, learning how important I was. I'm telling you, it's a deep thing. Like I shed behind that. Learning that I didn't have to make anybody happy. If other people were happy, it was cool. But I no longer was going to risk my mental health. I was no longer going to risk my peace trying to make other people happy. People will be around you with a whole attitude, anger issues, drama, and I'm over here chilling. It's like some people, they want to make you feel unhappy because they've made a choice to be unhappy, because they make bad decisions. But at the end of the day, you've got to choose yourself, make good decisions that makes you feel good. That's restorative. That brings in peace, that empowers you, that brings you joy, because that's really what's importantly, is doing the things that you need to do to make you happy. Sirius says, your value is not up for debate, and it certainly isn't something to be negotiated over. Oh man, I've had so much anger, resentment, like so many issues with my mental health, my emotional health, behind the things that people have done to me. And it's like, because you were looking for people to find value in you. And when I learned to remove that for myself, that it's cool if people value me, but if you don't value me, then I'm going to remove myself from you. I'm going to actually block you out. Sometimes literally I'm going to block you, but or I'm going to block you out because your energy and negative and evil and jealous and disruptive and toxic, and the list goes on and on. When you learn to find value in yourself and validate yourself and not looking for outside validation, but you're validating yourself, self validation, and being happy with who you are, ladies, saying that you're a queen and doing the things that you need to do that proves that I'm a queen and I will treat myself as such. And my gentlemen, being a queen and being a queen, being a king and validating that you are a king in the way you treat yourself, how you show up for yourself, not, not always just show others. That's what I'm talking about. That's where the burnout exists because there's no balance in your life. And until you learn how to be balanced and setting those boundaries and saying no and meaning it and doing what you do for you first and shutting off other people, let them have meltdowns. Let them call a million times. Let them do all the things that they're going to do over there. But I'm going to take care of myself over here, fill up my cup, put on my oxygen mask, and ask myself, am I okay? Do I actually want to talk to people today? Do I want to take calls? And then you can move accordingly. Because sometimes you don't need to, especially if you're dealing with some toxic, selfish individuals. And that's why we have to learn to treat people, train people, I should say, train people how to treat us. Because some people, they treat you how they treat themselves. And that's not acceptable. You're not going to treat me how you treat yourself because you treat your garbage. Yeah, you're going to treat me how I treat me. I've heard a lot of people say, treat like you treat you like you treat yourself. No, don't treat me how you treat yourself. I don't want that. Mm-mm. I don't want that kind of relationship with other people. I want you to treat me how I treat myself. Let's see, trying to get these comments to come up. It's not easy. Yes, facts, serious. Real odds and evens has a comment here. I'm going to put this on the screen. I just don't get why people continue to do ignorant things knowing it won't be good for them. And they eventually burn bridges and want to always blame everyone else. Yes, yes, it definitely is an enigma. It is. Yeah, but what it is because they're toxic, controlling, jealous, immature. Some are mentally ill. It's a combination of a little bit of everything because they want control in your life. And when people don't have control, they hate you. And yes, serious, you deserve to be seen and valued. You are not the problem. The problem is when people fail to recognize the treasure that you are. I can tell you guys a little bit about that. I went through that for a long time. It's like I had this quote unquote friend. Actually, it was a friend in me, but at the time, I didn't know it was a friend in me. I thought it was my friend because, of course, I was a friend to them, but they were no friend to me. And that's what they were always doing. They were always asking, and actually, when I think about it now, not asking me, demanding things from demanding. And the more that I did is the more they wanted. And it was a person that no matter what I did, I could never make them happy. It was that if I did one thing, they wanted 100 things, and they didn't want it tomorrow or when I could do it. It's when they wanted it. They demanded it right now. And that's a recipe to get burned out. You have to be very who you give your energy to. You got to be careful of who you give trust to. And you most definitely have to be careful about who you call your friend. That's a that's a big title. It's a big shoes to fill. It comes with a lot of responsibilities. Yes, know your worth. So you know your worth knowing. Yeah. And a lot of people have these expectations of what they want from you, but they wouldn't be willing to give you what you give them. They want you to do all these things for them, but they're not willing to do two things for you. They're not willing to give you the same energy, time, respect, but but they're always screaming about I don't get respect, but they're the most disrespectful person. It's very, very weird how some people show up. Indeed, yes. When someone fails to treat you like a priority that you are, it's not a reflection of who you are. It's the inability to see the value in front of them. And like I've said so many times before on this channel, that people don't know how to treat you with love because they don't know what love is, much less they don't know themselves, they don't love themselves, they don't respect themselves. And until you learn to love yourself, have your own relationship with yourself, you're going to allow people to disrespect you, use you, abuse you, and all of those things, control you. When you really love yourself, this is when you're going to identify toxicity in other people and separate yourself from them very quickly because you know what you deserve and you know what you don't. Yes, that part. Yeah. And I wish that I had known that, a long time ago. I wish that I had known. Oh no, I pressed the wrong button, Sirius. I don't know how to. Let me see. I just unhid you. I hope I did it right. Sorry about that, Sirius. My finger touched the wrong button. I apologize. Um, that's one of the things that I wanted to say to everybody. Don't let people use you and abuse you, disrespect you. It's gonna put you in the ground. There's so much people who are 6 feet under the ground because they didn't know how to speak up for themselves, advocate for themselves. You know, Sirius says, Marlene, I know that all too well about separating yourself from toxic people. Yes, and you have to. You have to separate yourselves from toxic people. James says, respect builds a kingdom. It does. You know, and that's one of the things in this life is that, you know, you have to understand what you have going on. And if you keep letting people treat you like you're trash, if you keep letting people disrespect you, they're going to keep disrespecting you. But when you learn how to do the right things by yourself, when you learn how to speak up for yourself, when you learn how to advocate for yourself, then you're going to do the right things. Because it's not our responsibility to prove ourselves to other people. It's not. That's our job. It's our job to respect ourselves. It's our job to pour into ourselves. It really is. That's nobody else's choice. Nobody. So, one of the things that it took me such a long time to learn to develop me time, not not us time, without, checking in with anybody, without asking permission, and without tooting the horn. You don't have to tell everybody in the world, I'm taking a day off. You don't have to tell everybody that you're going to do X, Y, and Z, or you have this idea. Just do it, loved ones. Oh no, your jacket fell off. Okay, hold on. Let me put your jacket back on. Let me put your blue dress back on, Sirius, because you can't come in here like that. Gotta have people fully dressed up in here. Sirius, put on your blue dress again and your blue jacket, okay? I don't know, it fell out of place. Yeah, when I saw, I was like, Sirius is in green. I was like, what's going on here? But I just wanted to ask you guys, when did you finally develop a relationship with yourself? Hmm. Or what you guys have to say about this. For me, I didn't learn the beginning, my initial stages of learning how to have a relationship with myself started in, I would say, the end of college. That was the beginning. Oh, you're covered now. Yes. I don't want anybody naked up in here. I want nobody naked. Okay. You guys got to be fully clothed and covered. I don't want YouTube to be striking me because I got naked people up in here. We're not doing that. But that's one of the things that I had to honestly learn. I had to learn to stop opening up my mouth and telling people my business, and especially not telling people, learning to not tell people who don't care about me from the beginning, from the jump. They don't care. They never cared. And I used to have it twisted. I thought that when people were asking me how I was doing, it's because they kept me, when they're asking because they want to know your business, or when you're going to be home so they can come over or something, get food or money or whatever. They're looking to get some fringe benefits from you. It's not care and concern why they're asking how you're doing. Serious, Serious gotta cover up. Serious, you gotta cover up. I know you're a classy lady. Okay. Yes, real odds and evens. It took me such a long time for me to get that thought in my head. A really long time for me to get it. I thought when people were were talking about they're checking on me, they're not checking on you. They just want to know business. And then you just open up your mouth telling them everything. All your plans, all your goals, your dreams, your ideas, when you get paid, how much money, where you're. Oh, please, y'all, please stop talking. Stop talking. Stop talking and telling everybody your business. Okay? Stop telling everybody your business. Keep keep some to yourself. Okay? Keep some things to yourself. Because everybody who asks don't mean they deserve to know. Ooh, when I said that's a message, I wish I had known that so many years ago, that just because a person is asking, it doesn't mean they deserve the right to know. And those siblings, cousins, aunties, parents, whoever those nosy people are, that that are the news reporters. They only come around. Hey, they're only coming around because they got a pen and a paper. Yes. Oh yeah. What you gonna do? Hmm? Oh yeah. Oh, you know you can do it as soon as they hang up. Oh, oh girl. Do you say? Oh, she's not about to do this. You know she can't. The same people. Yes, talking. Yes, serious. The same people are there smiling and laughing and keying with you. Those are the same people that are talking about you behind your back, talking about they can't stand you. The same people are like, oh, I love you so much. Yeah, they love to use you. They love to manipulate you. They love to spread your business, but they most definitely don't love you, because love is an action word, and people need to stop saying they love you when they don't. But you're the one that has to identify that. You're the one that has to learn and find out the people who treat you in the manner that you deserve. If you really look at it, it's only a very small percentage. I would just say just a few people that actually deserve your time, that deserve your energy, that deserve to be around you. Most don't. Sirius says, I'm not giving anyone my blueprint. The architect. I make the modifications. Exactly. Oh boy, I wish I would have listened to what my mom used to say. Uh, um, Minding your business. And all these years, I used to think my mom was talking about don't be in other people's business. No, I'm talking about. She used to be talking about minding your business. Like what is your credit score? What is going on with your physical health? Are you good? Putting on your own oxygen mask. I didn't get it until one day I was like, oh, that's what my mama was talking about. I really and truly didn't know. I really didn't know. I'm being completely honest with you all. I did not know what my mama was talking about until I was grown times 20. Okay. But you in this life and you learn, and then you start treating yourself accordingly. So making sure you're spending that time for the spa days and the relaxation, and it doesn't have to cost you a lot of money. People think that self-care costs a lot of money. There are some things, yes, some things do cost money, when it comes to your personal care, making a haircut or a hairdo or getting your nails done. But other things that are part of your self-care, it's free. Going for a walk, declining that person that always calls you, and every time they're calling you, they're going to be dry begging for some money. Every time you see this person's text, can you give me a call? You already know they want me to do something for them. See, you got to identify those people, and you got to set those boundaries, or you're going to keep enabling people and driving yourself crazy. Most of the stress that we have in our life is because we have not set those boundaries like we needed to. Okay. Real odds, people overshare too much of their plans and they wonder why they aren't successful. Yeah. I know that I still share a lot, but I don't share my deepest, my innermost thoughts and plans because, yeah, they're not getting none of that. They're not going to know about any of that at all. You know, you got to be aware of yourself. You got to know yourself and know what you want to do. And that's what, honestly, this whole conversation was all about is getting to know yourself, asking yourself the questions, what do I personally want out of my life as a mature woman or as a mature man? What do you need? What are you seeking? And how can I get there? And putting in the work to give yourself the permission to be there. And take your time with yourself. See, for me, in working on myself and choosing myself, I had to learn to stop putting myself last. There were so many years in my life I didn't even make the list, much less putting myself first. I didn't even make the list all the time. I was always like, I don't have enough time. I don't have time for myself. I don't have time. I'm too busy. And it was like, what? I was like, how are you too busy for yourself? You've allowed other people to take the first position. You're giving away your time, your power, your energy, even everything away. So what is left for you? Nothing. You know what's left for you? Stress. You know what's left for you? Drama. What's left for you? Insomnia, high blood pressure, certain diseases. That's what's left for you. If you don't learn how to choose yourself, that's what you're going to. Serious, real odds, and even says people will try to sabotage out of pure jealousy, even if it can benefit them immensely. They'll still try to ruin it. Some people don't want to see you happy. Some people don't want to see you happy because it's not them. They only want to be the only person celebrated. They want to be the only person in the limelight. They don't want to see anybody having joy and peace and personal growth and development. They don't want to see anybody having great things happen to them. They're very toxic, manipulative, and evil spirit. You got to be careful of people like that, and you got to stay away from them. Let's see what Sirius is saying right here. I'm not making myself readily acceptable to anyone anymore. I've tried that and it slapped me in my face. Oh, Sirius, I'm not trying to discount it, but I wish mine was only slapping in the face. I've been stabbed in the back so many times that I can't even mention. I have a whole bunch of stab wounds from people who have, mm, I can't even say disrespected me, used, abused, evil, sinister, wicked, you know, people and what they've done. But, everything is a lesson. You know what? How does the saying go? The first time is shame on them, second time is shame on you. If somebody does something to you once, it's like, oh, okay, you did it. And then now you got to go. But when you keep letting them run over you over and over again, mm-mm, that's on you. Now that's on you, most definitely. You're the one that has the choice to choose you. You got to make it that choice. I got to choose me because I'm valuable. I'm important, more than enough. And you are. That you are. more than enough. Okay? Yeah, we have we have the choice. Every single one of us has to make the choice to choose ourselves, to make a choice to have peace. You have to make a choice to let go. Okay. And that is a hard thing, to let go of people who abuse us, because you used to, after a while, you get used to the abuse. You get used to the disrespect. And you don't have to take that. And people always want to treat you the way that it benefits them. Right? Serious. It's so true. As long as it benefits them, that's all people care about. They have to be the benefit. It always has to be for their benefit and make them happy. They don't care about putting you in an early casket. They don't care about that. As long as they can get squeeze off the as much as they can get. Like my best friend always says, that people are leeches, and they're going to suck suck you dry. They're going to keep taking from you as long as you let them keep taking from you. You got to get those people away from you. You got to. Sometimes not talking to them even enough. Marlene, you picked up the pieces and healed those wounds. It may be some that left scars, but they are there to remind you of your struggles that you overcame. That's right, Sirius. And you too, and everybody in the chat. When people do things to hurt us, it should open up your eyes. It should bring some awareness. You know, when things happen to us, it's like, whoa. You should be very happy if you can rebound from that, because some things that people do, it can impact you for the rest of your life. You can't keep making bad decisions. You can't keep giving everybody passes because of a title, because that's my sibling or parent or friend or spouse. When are you going to cut off the disrespect? When are you going to get to you and feeling your best and having peace and living your life with purpose? When will you have joy in your life? You're not going to have those things unless you learn to choose yourself. And it most definitely does not mean that you're a selfish person. Most definitely, you're not selfish. It means that you have standards, you have value, you love yourself, you know about respect, you know your worth. You have to dignify yourself. Don't wait for other people to dignify you, to validate you, and to respect you. You got to respect yourself. So, awesome topic and discussion, everybody. I would say to everybody who's here, I hope you're working on a relationship with yourself, learning to love you the way you deserve to be loved. You know, taking precious moments to have that solo time. Put it on your schedule, at the top of your schedule, not waiting for a moment, or okay, I'll see when I can. No, you have to be very strategic about finding ways and means to put yourself to the top of the list. That just doesn't happen by chance. It's not just going to drop out of the sky like, oh, I got all this time for me. No, you have to plan it. You have to put in the opportunities. You know, you got to seek it. Whether it's a seeking, you shall find. You, that same way that you're seeking for treasures spiritually, you also have to seek for your own love for yourself, your own friendship, getting into your purpose, finding inner peace, healing from those wounds of your inner child, healing those from the little girl inside of you, from the little boy inside of you, you know? Real Odd says, that's my saying for people unhinged. Thank you so much, Real Odds and Evens. I appreciate you. Syria and James. Awesome. Thank you guys so much for your support. Let me see. I missed a comment. Um, waiting for it to show up. Okay. It's sure for a lifetime. If you don't have the proper treatment, you will be unhinged, unhappy, unstressed. Yes. You should. And that's just not an option. This channel is all about learning how to heal child, heal those traumas, trolling, learning how to love yourself, learning boundaries, learning communication, learning to respect yourself, knowing your worth. And if you haven't had it before, it's learning how to find it. Just saying, I don't know how to love myself. I don't know how to set boundaries. I don't know how to communicate, and just walking around like your whole life. No, we must become mature. We must find ways to choose ourselves, set those boundaries, get your journal, block people for your mental, emotional, spiritual, financial, and mental health. But you got to take care of yourself, and don't feel guilty about that. Don't apologize. Like, people want you to apologize because you didn't do something for them. No, I'm not going to apologize because I chose myself. No, we're not doing that. We're going to end that. Let's stop apologizing and sorry for showing up for ourselves. Pat yourself. Say, I love myself. I'm glad I did it because I am more than enough. For Odds and Evens says, a great flow tonight. Thank you so much. Shout out to my mods. Shout out to the channel members. I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you all so much for your support. Me and Miss Nexty, we should be back on schedule with the Sip and Chat next week, but I didn't want to leave you guys for a whole week with no topic, nothing, no video. I'm trying to do better, but me being a content creator for multiple channels, I feel like I do pretty good, you know, keeping 5 channels afloat. So I pat myself on the back about that, other things too, and keeping things together. So I wanted to say to everybody, if you need to take a me time solo vacation, do that. If you need to block people, do that. If you need to move away, if you need to get yourself in the gym, if you need to get yourself on a therapist's couch, whatever it is that you need to do for you, do those things. Okay? Do the things that you need to do so that you can be your best and be your happiest. Hey, Realist. Sorry, I missed your comment. I didn't see when you came in. Yes. Have a great night, everybody. Stay cool, stay hydrated. Yes. Yep. Exactly. What is understood doesn't need an explanation. You don't have to explain to know what they say antibody. You have to explain to antibody that the answer gonna go back on here. Or so sorry. Yeah, I'm so hot. It's crazy. Okay, I came back. So, yeah, my screen went black, I think. I think, yeah, real odds and ends. Definitely 5 channels. My screen went black. I guess the topic to fire. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you for your support as always. Yep, I'm back. Restream tripping. Okay, realist tripping. I don't know. I feel like all of these apps are the same. It does not matter what app you use. It don't matter if you use StreamYard, you use Restream, you use EveMux. All of them, they all have issues. Oh, it's back now. Oh, okay, thought I was talking to myself, but I just wanted to say to everybody, you know, make sure you're taking care of yourself, ladies. Take care of yourself. You know, women, we wear many hats. Fellas, my gentlemen, you wear many hats. You gotta make sure you can carry yourself. You know, keep yourself up. You know, and stop putting yourself before other people. I know that many of us, we got to take care of so many people, right? You know, you got to take care of your household. You got to work. You got to do this. You got to do that. But ultimately, you got to be okay. I'm just saying. I think next week, me and Miss Sexy, we're going to be doing a big call. Are you good? Okay. I think we need to get into talking about this. Maybe I'll continue this into another time, but maybe I'll continue this on the next topic. Continued, choosing me continued, talking about some others because it's been a good one. But before my screen go black again, because we're stream be doing the most, I want to say take care of yourself, ladies and gentlemen. Don't let people stress you out. Block them. Stop answering people's phone calls. And you know, especially those phone calls with all those people that you know when they call, you already know what time it is. Stop answering when you know Shaquita is calling. Okay, you know when you see whoever calling you already know. Close up your wallet. Okay, don't answer that phone call. Say no and mean it. Set those boundaries and choose yourself first. Okay, guys, this is Love Marlene 411, where we focus on the love we have for ourselves because when you love yourself, it's going to trickle down into how you handle all of your other relationships. Because when you love yourself, you can show up with love for others. Okay, guys, I will tap back in on the next one. See you guys then. Peace.